Hey everyone, I'm Blake, an AI engineer, and I worked with Will to create the DigiKōR Portal here, and this is a video on how you can get set up. So this is what you'll see when you first open up the portal. You come to a sign-in page. If this is your first time, what you'll do is come down to register here. Then you'd click onto a teacher and then enter the information about your name, the school that you represent. If the school's not registered currently, you can go other or not listed and enter the school name in here. Put through your email and passwords and click onto register. After registering, you'll be taken to a page like this. Your teacher account is waiting for admin approval, in which will need to approve you to be able to access the portal. Once all approved, you'll need to log back in again and you can go and see the teacher dashboard here. From the start, you won't have any students inside of this, so we want to go over to our student management side and actually add some students in. So we can see we have classrooms, so this can be broken down to the term, the year, and who's inside of it. What we want to do is go manage classes, and then we want to create a new classroom. You can call this whatever you'd like, register what term it is and what year, and then go on to create. Now that we have a new classroom for 2026 term 1, we can then go and add a student. This is where, if someone's already signed up, we can enter their student email address in here, or students can request to join. So what you do here is after you've set up your classroom, you'd get students to go over to the sign-in page. They'll click onto the student create an account button, enter all of the information in here, and then they can select which school it is and then which classroom, and then go on and register. Once a student has registered to your classroom, you'll see them pop up in this pending student approval. All you need to do is click approve and they are now in your classroom and they can access the course content. If a student for some reason put in the wrong school or classroom, this is when you'd use the add new student and you just put in their email address and they'd add it to the classroom. If I go back onto my dashboard now, I've got this Blake user that's in here and this is my overall tracking. So I can see the different student progress, so I can see how many modules they've completed. If I want to go and see their individual responses, I just click on the relevant module and I see exactly what they see inside. And I can scroll down and if they have answered the different questions, they would be populated here. I can go back as well, back onto the dashboard, and then we also see the mood. So we can see pre and post mood. So before a student does a module, they input their emoji, either a sad or a neutral or a happy face, and then an emoji at the end to kind of track how they're going. You can also add teacher notes in here that are just specific to the student or what the work they've submitted, and you can save that against their profile. Part of the modules, they have recordings for their podcasts, both an intro and a full podcast, and you can listen to that here. If you go view all, you'll see Blake and Bob, and they'll have a transcript. AI will actually summarize what they've said as well, and you can listen to the audio or click here to download it. And you can see both which ones are in here. Then you also have the marking, where if a student has completed all of the modules or the amount of modules that they are going to complete for the term, they can go on to view. Then we can see here, this is an AI marking thing that's been already run. If I was to run it, I'll just go rerun, or I can go to the top up here and click the big red mark button and select which students I want to mark. The output of that looks something like this. This example student actually hasn't done pretty much anything except for one of the modules, I think. And so we see it gives not achieved. It says the reasoning behind it, that there was no evidence found. You can add additional comments, but you can also override this mark. For each of these learning outcomes, you can see the learning outcome, the assessment criteria, but also open the relevant module and week to see the student's results to verify this. Scrolling down, we see that weeks 3 and 4 for 3A and 3B for creating the logos and the graphic design and file management. AI can't mark this at the moment, so it's not achieved, but this is where you have to go through and actually flick this over to achieved. I did pick up that in weeks 5 and 6 that the student actually did have a conversation with Bob, their guest, and they had some interview questions through there, and they got marked achieved for that. Once all the marks are verified, you can go down to the bottom, put in your assessor name, position, date, signature, and their overall result, whether they passed or failed, and then you can send that to the student. You can also download the PDF version of this or print it out like this, and you can see all the marks inside of it. At the top here we also have teacher resources, and this allows you to go in and preview all of the different course content inside of the modules, but then also allows you to go over and see the assessment guides themselves and download them for how they relate to NZQA. These are the official NZQA assessment guides. You also have access to the profile button at the top, and you can go in and reset your password, change your name and your school as well. So this is the student's view. For a login, they get the home page with the fundamentals of podcasting, YouTube. Then they can scroll down and see all of the different course lessons that they can work through. When they click in, each of them have a relevant YouTube video to watch, and they go through a whole bunch of information, and there's all the different fields to fill out to help craft their own podcast in relation to the NZQA learning outcomes. They also have access to the assessment guide up here as well. Before they start any of the modules, they are asked to quickly read through and sign that they understand the outcomes and what they are trying to learn from here, and they'll also get that at the very end once a grade has been sent through to them. They also have the record section up here where they can go in and directly record their podcast transcriptions rather than going through and trying to find them in the different modules, but they also have the library as well of their historic ones to go back and play. They also have a profile where they can reset a password as well and change the name. Overall, this platform allows teachers to go in and create classrooms, inviting students in to learn about podcasting all through online videos and interactive features. We're testing out some really cool AI tools in terms of the marking and assistance, and would love feedback on this and anything about the portal as it's a work in progress, and there's just so many applications and ways of improving. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy.